Hello, everybody. I am SunPsychic Jean, and look who I have with me here today, Daphne from Relax with Daphne. Hi, Daphne.
Hi, Jean. Thank you so much for inviting me. I love your audience. It's so great to spend time with you. Thank you so much.
It's my pleasure, and I actually am the one who invited you. And I wanted to work on how to relax, what it means to relax, how it feels to relax, what we can continuously do so that it's easier for us to relax, and just everything about it. And I couldn't think of anybody better than Daphne. She's taught me a lot. And I'm like, "Will you please do this with me?" And she's like, "Oh my gosh." It's a win-win, so to speak.
Oh, thank you. Yes, well, I've been, first thing I want to say about relaxation is that it is a practice, and I've been working on different modalities to help people relax since 2008 when I took my very first Reiki class. But I'll tell you what, even before that, people were falling asleep on me on dates, on trains, and I would go visit friends and their kids would fall asleep on me. Their dog would crawl into my lap
Oh,
and fall asleep. So I came to this work naturally, and I
oh,
can help people feel relaxed around me. But I'll tell you what, I don't feel relaxed on the inside unless I do my practice. So we're going to talk a little bit about that today. And you're going to have to keep an eye on my time because this is like my topic, right? So I could talk for hours. So rein me in when you need to.
yeah,
So
and it's really good information for everybody to learn, get to know, and well, we're going to be talking a little bit about it, and then maybe if you have some questions about it or some of your own experiences that you want to share. And I just want to say hello to everybody. And Lark Kemper is here. Venus is here. Thank you, everybody, for
yeah.
coming. Lois is here. Aw, yeah, and we can just turn that right around. And Lois says, I'm not very good at relaxing. I feel like I must stay busy. And that's a good point as well. But us saying that maybe would it's like it's like a spell. What we say comes true, right? But if we say, I need to practice more to relax, then that's also true. So
I think we can give Lois a little comfort. She is very good at relaxing by staying busy,
there
right?
you go. That's
Cleaning out
true.
the junk drawer, sorting the Tupperware. We all have a different way of finding our path to relaxation. Glad you're
You're
here,
right.
Lois.
That's right. That's right. I hadn't thought of it that way for sure. Um, and that's a good way of changing that thought, um, Lois. I like that. I
Yeah.
hadn't thought of that before. That some people, and I know that I guess it takes all kinds to have the world go round, and with my husband is a different energetic type than I am. I'm a little bit more laid back, and he's a little bit more. He always has a project, so he's a lot like you, Lois. So that makes a lot of sense. But he wouldn't be able to relax if he didn't have something to
I call those
do.
people proactive relaxers, right? If you don't get up and take care of business, you can't relax. I
There
totally
you
get it.
go.
Love
Yeah.
it.
Uh-huh. And Abby says she can relate too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. That's good. That's good. Hi, Garnet. Nice to see you. He always puts blue jeans in there and it makes me smile. It's so funny. And Diane G is here. Garnet, Abby, everybody. Judith is here. So nice to see you. Thank you, everybody, for coming. So we're going to talk a little bit about. Well, tell us a little preview of what might be coming up of today that we're going to be discussing.
Well, it wouldn't be me if I didn't have a PowerPoint slideshow to share with everyone. So I do have some slides, mostly to keep me organized to make sure I give you all the information I want to put out for people to have. But at the end, I would love to do a little live Reiki transmission to help people relax.
Oh,
So if we could do that, you can tell me how much time we have and when you want me to do that. I think my slides will take maybe 10 minutes, something like that. And but first, what I'd like to show people is the image that I brought to talk about how not to relax. But I think a lot of us think we're resting and relaxing when we do this.
Mhm. So
It's
everybody, if you're listening, grab your device and take a look because hi Ivana, thanks for coming. This image is like the what would the at the moment right now, where we are at the moment, right?
I think it's a mirror for a lot of us. And this is by the brilliant artist Lisa Sturl. You might be more familiar with her tarot deck called the Modern Witch Tarot. She's an amazing comic book artist, and she made this. This was her very first tarot card that she made in 2016. Imagine what she was doing lying in bed in 2016, going through her phone, right? But
Wow.
this is a really, when I saw this, it really resonated for me because I have been guilty of just skipping my relaxation process, my practice in favor of doing this doom scrolling on my phone. And this is not resting. This is not relaxing. And what I'd like to point out is those swords are going into her body. Anything we're consuming intellectually, emotionally, energetically is lodging in the body. And this is like my bottom line when it comes to relaxing. You cannot heal if you aren't relaxed, and you can actually end up very ill if you don't find a way to get that out of your body. So everything I do in my personal practice and in my practice as an energy medicine provider, this is the bottom line. We need to get this stuff out of our body. And that's why it's a practice that we need to do every day. So,
Yeah,
yeah,
absolutely. It's really important because the we feel as though empaths, we feel it maybe in our gut, or we feel it in our throats, or we feel it in maybe the our shoulders, and everywhere. It just gets tense, and we just breeze by it, but we don't understand that the impact is an energetic frequency. When we have a thought, or if something is presented to us, our body reacts with an energetic frequency, and our subconscious reacts with an energetic frequency, and we may not be conscious of it when it is being affected in our body, and how long we hold on to it. And this is the burnout. Our energy is drained, or it's weakened, or it's just not as strong. Yeah, there's a lot of clearing techniques and healing techniques, relaxation techniques. And me, I'm always a huge proponent of balancing the chakras, healing the chakras and the auric field. But this really, I told Daphne, I said, I know her. That's me. That's me. I do that. We all do that. It's just not a healthy thing to do. But I thought it
no,
was that the environment and what we consume is causing each one of those daggers, whether it's the boss at work, whether it's the traffic, whether it's the car, whether it's all of these things. And then we add fuel to the fire with, doom scrolling.
yeah.
Um, Now, I don't know if she's watching baby goats on that phone, but I sure hope so.
Thank you so much. Yes, yeah. Part of what struck me about that card is how powerless that woman feels, right? She's not moving. She's on the ground and taking all the swords, and they are imposing the damage on her and the pain on her, and she's frozen, right? So this is what we need to avoid, and what we can do. There's a lot of simple things we can do. You're probably already doing some aspect of them, but just like we were talking about Lois before, you're not giving yourself credit for the ways that you are dealing with this energetically. So all right, so shall we take a few minutes and go through these slides? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Who am I to be talking to you about relaxation? I am a very tense person because I'm very sensitive. And for many years in my life, I had no idea that I was sensitive. And I just thought that life was very difficult and painful. And the people that everybody I knew was really mean to me, right? And now I know a lot better. I know how to choose my friends and my work associates and the people who are in my life. And part of that journey included learning to become a Reiki Master Teacher. I absolutely love teaching Reiki because it is hands down one of the fastest and most effective ways to relax. From there, I moved on to sound healing, which is also really wonderful for relaxation and meditation. I am a very experienced intention meditation facilitator. I see some folks in the chat who attend my Wednesday night meditations. I found that flower essences were really supporting me over the last maybe 6 years, and I got very, very interested in how those were actually affecting not only the mind and the body, but also the emotions. So that's sort of an emotional piece that we can try. And I know, Jean, you and I are going to talk about flower essences in another show. And then probably like the highest level vibration modality that I am trained to do is shamanic plant spirit healing. And that is where I go into your energy body and look at the energy leaks and attachments and all the things that can happen to us after we've been doom scrolling for 8 or 10 years, right? So there's a lot of ways to deal with our energy bodies. And that's how I ended up doing this work. It's just these all complemented one another. Some people are not sensitive enough to experience Reiki, but I guarantee you they're going to hear the sound bowls and they're going to feel the sound bowls in their body. They may not be somebody who knows how to meditate, but I can teach you to meditate in under 2 minutes. And you can do a 7-minute meditation and have incredible manifestation power out of it using intention meditation. And maybe you love flowers, you love the idea of flowers, but you never thought about the magic and the medicine they can bring to your life. So flower essence therapy is wonderful. And then the sort of the cherry on the top is the shamanic plant spirit healing. So that's me. That's why I'm here talking about relaxation, because I know it is a critical practice for all of us. If you are part of Jean's audience, chances are you are a very sensitive and intuitive person, and we have to take care of ourselves. Yeah, so let's go to the next slide. Thank you. So, probably the main thing that we need to do, because we are living in a human body on this earth, is we need to restore and maintain our health and avoid pain, right? Now, this life is temporary. We are all going to move into our new state of being and transition to the next world. But in the meantime, must it be painful? Not if we can find a way to restore our health. And once you relax, that's your body's opportunity to heal and repair itself. But you cannot do it if you are totally tense and totally in the fear state. And you also can't think clearly and make good decisions if you're not relaxed and in the state of fear. And a lot of people say, no, no, I need the adrenaline to make quick decisions. Not long term. It's only one mode, but you need this other mode as well. And I find it's absolutely critical to be able to relax so that I can hear what spirit is telling me and to receive the guidance that I need in this world. So, for all those reasons, that's why I've made relaxation the focus of my practice and the focus of my day. I have to find a way to do everything I want to do and protect my body, my energy, my spirit, my mind, my brain. Yeah, we need all those things as we go forward. Okay,
And
next
and more
slide.
and more of us will be requiring this because as we move into the fourth and fifth dimension and our frequency rises, our sensitivity will also rise. And this will be more of a norm and more of a requirement and more of a everyday uh, taking care of ourselves for sure.
Yeah. And this might not be a widespread opinion, but I think you have to have a body to ascend, right? Because that's kind of the deal. But moving into the next world is death, right? But if we want to move and ascend and transcend, I think we need that body and we need to take care of it.
Right. Right. Speaking of the body.
Yes. So a lot of us think of these as compartmentalized aspects of our existence. But I don't when I'm working with somebody energetically, I do not perceive where the energy body starts and the physical body begins. They are on a spectrum, as are emotions that move through us. That's energy moving through us. And our minds and our spirits, they are all part of the whole package. Everything affects each other. So you're going to see some overlap in the techniques and modalities that I am bringing forward to talk to you about today. But just think if any of these appeal to you, they could be good for whatever issue you're having right now, whether it's physical, emotional, mental, your energy, your spiritual practice. They can all help and help you relax and heal. Okay, so even though I just said they all belong together, it's good to focus in and look at how stress and tension and doom scrolling in particular affect each part of us. And the body has like shortcuts to relaxation, and that is breaking a sweat. And it almost doesn't matter what you do to you could do Valentine's Day activities and break a sweat. You can dance, you can walk, you can laugh, you can sleep. All those things are really, really good for the body. Embodiment practices, that is when you take a minute and you make sure you're in your body. A lot of us are really good at getting out of our body, traveling, dissociating, meditating, going somewhere in our minds, whatever you call it, we're good at it. But what's also important is being in your body so you can fully enjoy this beautiful world and the life that spirit has given you. And embodiment practices might be stopping and counting 5 things you can see, 4 things you can hear, see if you can taste or smell anything, and just count on what your body is bringing to you. And so much of my intuitive practice is through embodiment, right? All the clairs have to do with our body. So the body is an instrument that we can use to move our spiritual growth forward. And so many people just skip over it and ignore it. But no, your body's a gift from the earth, and you can't take it with you when you go, right? It stays here on the planet. So anything you can do to help the body relax and heal is valuable and worth trying. So the healing modalities that I use personally or am trained in or recommend include not only Reiki and sound healing, but heart math coherence techniques. They have an app and a little device you can wear to work with your breathing and your heart rate to bring those into coherence. That is literally putting you into the healing mode of the body. Highly recommend their website and their programs. Somatic therapy is really growing, and there's a lot of different aspects of it that we can tap into to see if it's for us. But it's about releasing stored emotion and memory in the body. And I took a class in this last year when I was getting my certification for sound healing, and the coach had us physically move into a position where you get into this weird position. It's not really like exercise. You're just going into a pose, and you're seeking like a tremor or a vibration in the body. And my legs started shaking, and a memory literally rose up from when I was 15 years old
Oh,
that literally came out of the muscles in my thighs. And I had to
wow.
deal with the emotion of that memory, right? But then it was out of my body. And that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to clear all that old stuff out of the body. So I highly recommend different forms of somatic therapy. EMDR is where they use the eye movements to clear traumatic memories. That actually is just one band of armor around the eyes. Somatic therapy can get bands of armor throughout the entire body. So both are
Mhm.
really good. There's a lot more therapists who are doing EMDR these days than you can easily find somebody doing somatic therapy. But there's probably somebody great out there on YouTube. I haven't looked myself, but if that appeals to you and something that's catching your eye, definitely take a look at it. And lots of us are familiar with the emotional freedom technique or tapping. There's a lot of interesting tapping scripts out on the internet. It's kind of escaped its into the wild from the therapy ecosystem, right? So a lot of us are just amateurs just trying to tap for ourselves, and that can be really useful as an embodiment practice, right? Because when you're tapping on different tapping points, you're paying attention and you're present in your body. So all those things help relax the body. And by no means is this an exhaustive list. There's so much good stuff out there. We live in a literally the golden age of information for helping ourselves. So definitely do some exploration out there. And if it's if it's helping you relax and you're feeling good about it and it doesn't cost $25,000, give it a try. Okay, so let's
Now,
move on. Yeah.
can I ask a quick question here? These are
Yes.
techniques, and I was just curious, where does meditation fit in?
I didn't put it in the body. I put it in the mind and spirit
Okay,
because so many of us are sitting in meditation, and we really need to be moving more, right? And
okay.
guilty,
Like
right? I
a
would
walking
love
meditation. Mm.
exactly. And in fact, walking, I mean, I do a lot of writing, and walking is one of the best tools for writers or creative people. You just get the body moving, and your body can make, like when you're moving your arms and legs in different patterns,
Yeah,
your
yeah.
brain is cross linking, your thoughts are more creative.
It's
It's,
amazing. It's
yeah.
all
So,
energetic. It's all energetic, you guys. Oh my gosh, I'm glad you just reminded me of that. Okay, let's move on to the next one and see what now I
the
see.
mind. And again, overlap, breaking a sweat, right? It is hard to be worried about what your coworker said to you when you were in the middle of a Zumba class, right? You're in your body, you're in the moment, you're not ruminating or giving yourself, mistreating yourself emotionally while you are moving the body. And I think the body is key to so much valuable information in this life. And in addition to all the normal forms of therapy and ways, calling your friends, talking things out with a trusted advisor, Reiki is wonderful for the mind. So many people just fall asleep on my Reiki table and take a Reiki nap because they just need a break from the constant intellectual churning that they live in, right? Sound healing helps you go to an absolutely different like a different stratosphere in your mind. You are leaving the body, but you are solving problems or accessing levels of mind that you can't do without the help of the frequencies of the sound bowls. And intention meditation is really wonderful because it's short bursts of meditation and it's usually very focused. And as you do that, you focus on a single intention for a few minutes. Your facility for focus and knowing your own thoughts and being able to manage your own thoughts just expands. You just get this incredible capacity for knowing your own mind. And that way, when a thought comes in that is harmful, you're like, where is that coming from? Like, have you ever been driving in the mountains and you're on a curve and there's some thought that comes to your mind that says, I should just drive over I wonder what would happen if those aren't your thoughts, right? That could be an energy that exists in that curve. Maybe there has
Oh,
been an
wow.
accident in the past, but that is not your thoughts. So part of the reason to know how your own mind works is so you can identify intrusive thoughts. You can identify when people are trying to gaslight you. You can identify propaganda. These are really important skills you need to be able to use for your own well being and knowing your own mind and being able to meditate without, like, you don't have to go to an ashram and meditate for a month or be in a silent retreat for 7 days. You can literally, in 7 minutes, change your facility and your capacity for meditation. Flower essence therapy. you might know this, but flower essence therapy is over 100 years old. It was developed by a medical doctor in England who was treating a lot of World War I soldiers and survivors who had returned, but they had incredible mental problems and incredible emotional problems. So flower essence therapy is a very high vibration therapy to use to work with your mind. And there's a lot of things you can do, like you can use oak essence and elm essence together to be able to focus on a task and to have the stamina to finish it. So there's a lot of different ways to use flower essences for the mind. And then in addition to EMDR and EFT that we talked about, there's also ASMR, right? If you're the person who enjoys the triggers from the sonic therapy of ASMR, I forget what those four letters stand for, but there is some science behind it, and then there's a lot of shenanigans on top of it. People, again, this is something that escaped from the lab and is out in the wild, being applied, and people are being very creative with it. But if you are a person who is able to relax when you listen to those triggers, give it a try. There's some really interesting stuff out there on the web. What do you think about all this, Jean?
What I'm thinking of is like if you listen to a glass of champagne being poured or a glass of beer, and just that, it's a distinctive sound. It's very, has a multi-sensory, and it brings back memories. Brings back feelings. You can almost feel the little bubbles tickling your nose when you think of, something bubbly being poured into a glass. And I don't know if it's because it was on a commercial, but I can hear it like on command. And it is very soothing. This, especially the pouring of water and the pouring of, you know, and the sound of perhaps food, or food being prepared, or drinks, or, whatever that is. I do feel like it sort of reminds us, and it's almost like maybe even when we were infants and we could hear mom doing the dishes in the other room, it was very soothing for us to hear her clanking around in the kitchen. And, you could just hear these sounds, but they're soothing to you because of your memory, because of where you were. And it makes a lot of sense to me. And I think that as a highly sensitive HSP, it definitely is soothing for me, but it can also mean the opposite. There's some things, some sounds that it's like, nails on a chalkboard, so to speak. But it's just, it rattles me as much as the other would soothe me. So I'm highly sensitive in both ways, that I can appreciate and benefit from some sounds, but other sounds I'm a lot more sensitive to. So, but
Yeah.
mhm.
Yeah, thank you. And I love that connection with childhood, right? As I realized, one of my favorite sounds is the sounds of pages of a book turning. As my mom was a reader, and she taught me to read well before kindergarten, and that's just been a source of pleasure and relaxation my whole life, is the sound of book pages turning. I love that.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. That's nice.
Let's continue with the spirit. If you're here, you probably are very interested in building out your clairs and making the most of your spiritual mission here in this life. And there's lots of ways to relax the body, the mind, and access levels of the spirit. And one of the best is making or interacting with art and music. Making your own music for your own pleasure and your own satisfaction is in my opinion, one of the best things you can do with your time as a human being. And making art is the same. The benefits of making art and music on your brain, in particular, if you want to keep your brain strong as you get older. If we're fortunate enough to get older, let's do it with our brains intact, right? Learning something new, taking classes, reading information, and then using the mind in prayer and meditation and focusing in that can also help you access those layers of relaxation that have to do with connection to the creator and connection with spirit, and just how that fills and lifts our hearts, how it raises our vibration, and just makes everything new again, right? How many times have you had just the worst day and then you decide you're going to pray about it, you're going to meditate about it, you're going to write about it in your journal, and you're emptying that out. You're emptying your cup so it can be filled again, right? And of course, developing our clairs is really important. I think we're beyond the idea of only a handful of people have clairs and can access them. All of us have it, especially clairaudience. That's very strong in children in particular. But developing your clairs so that you can fully participate in all the information that's happening around you and available to you, I think is just so healing and soothing and lifts up the spirit. Reiki, always good for people who have what I call soul sickness, right? Deep grief and jealousy, envy, all the difficult emotions, terror, people who have had really hard time in life. Reiki is so good for them to help them access levels of healing. Healing, same thing. It can really move you to a new place. Again, intention meditation, flower essences. And then I want to talk a little bit about shamanic plant spirit healing. I don't know how many of you are familiar with this. It is very similar to other forms of shamanic healing, but in this case, I am recruiting and working with plant allies. So specific plants that have specific medicine or specific specialties. I'm thinking right now of a plant that all of you should know. Pink yarrow is incredible for empathic or sensitive people. And you can get the essence in a number of places. I get mine from Flower Essence Services, FES. Um, and they make a really beautiful pink yarrow. What pink yarrow does for me, it strengthens the outer edge of my energetic bubble, right? My energy body. And it filters the information that's coming into me. It filters the energy coming into me. So when I do a group meditation or something, I'm almost always encasing me and the space that we are occupying with the beautiful, tender, gentle, soft energy of pink yarrow. Before I go to the grocery store, definitely before I go to Costco, I douse myself in pink yarrow, right? Because the energy is just too much. It's too much to go to Costco on a Saturday morning. If you are an HSP, a highly sensitive person, it's just not your place, right? But sometimes we have to go where we're going. So working with plant allies in the everyday world with flower essences, and then going shamanic, going into a shamanic aspect of it by taking those plant allies, working with a client in a healing space that I've created, and removing attachments, sealing up energy leaks, removing I mean, the old-fashioned word for it is curses, but I'm going to say intrusive intentions from other people, intrusive thoughts that we have embraced because we think they're our own. They're not. And any kind of childhood wounding that happened, anything that's going on in the spirit body, the energy body, can be addressed with shamanic plant spirit healing. And I haven't talked a lot about that on YouTube yet, because it's a deep topic that people might be shocked to know that even exists, right? But working with plant spirit allies to help heal people is just um, something that might appeal to someone who's got a really pernicious issue that they cannot dislodge, right? They've done all the traditional things. They're taking their vitamins, they're listening to their doctor, they see a therapist, they are getting Reiki, they are meditating, and still they've got issues that can't be addressed.
Yeah.
Shamanic plant spirit healing might be the way.
And subconsciously, that's often where you find it or where we hide it, or,
Yeah.
because of the trauma, that's where it's how deep it's buried. And that's the technique that can get to that deep level and that very vulnerable level.
Yeah,
Um,
and these are all complementary therapies, right? They do not replace medical treatment. They do not replace anything you're doing with your doctor. These are in addition to support the healing effort that you're doing with your regular medical professionals, your medical team.
Wonderful. So,
Yay!
okay, before we do this, do you want to um
Do we
oh,
have
do
any
you want to talk
questions?
about it first, and then maybe we can take some questions from people and chat a little bit, and then at the end we'll do a little transmission. Is that okay?
Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
absolutely.
Let me
So,
just hide that a moment.
yeah.
Um, so how's everybody? So some of the things that I wanted to maybe bring up is, what is relaxation? What is it to be relaxed? And is it a frequency? Is it a altered state of consciousness? Is it a slowed down rhythm of our breath and our heart? Is it all of the above? And just like in the very beginning, Lois, I'm sorry, but Lois was saying that she loves to keep busy, but and Daphne said, no, that is her relaxation. She wouldn't be able to
Mhm.
relax if she wasn't doing something, you know? And, so what would you, how would you describe it for people?
I think at the most basic level, it's a shift in your nervous system from your sympathetic nervous system, the fight, and freeze mode, right, which you need. Nothing wrong with that mode when you need it, but shifting out of it into rest, digest, and heal. It is literally going from sympathetic to parasympathetic nervous system, right? And we have different ways of doing it, and it could be different for every person. So the somatic therapy that I talked about looked at how animals react to trauma, right? You might see a lion running after an antelope. The antelope escapes, shakes itself, and then is calm and goes on. They are not storing that trauma in their body, right? So the people watching wild animals recover and literally, thank you, Taylor Swift, shaking it off, it's an excellent way to do it, and in fact, I know someone who I caught them shaking their head. I'm like, "What are you doing?" And they're like, "Well, I just had a bad thought and I had to get it out of my head." Valid way of dealing with an intrusive thought or a memory you can't deal with right now, right?
Mhm.
So, relaxation, as I said, is a practice, and you need some every single day. And switching from fight and flight, which you might need to get somewhere on time and to give a presentation and, do a sales call, whatever it is you have to do in your life. But then you have to be able to shift. You have to be able to shift.
It's what I often say is like being on guard all the time and being defensive all the time and having our guards up and letting our guards down. And what I mean by that is, when I was training to work on connecting to spirit, I know that I realized that I was walking around with boundaries and defenses. But if you want to hear spirit and you want to call them in, you need to really let all of those defenses down and let all of yourself relax and welcome in the energetic frequency of the spirit guides and loved ones on the other side. And that's why I always say I'd like to go into that altered state of consciousness. But what everybody doesn't realize is that I'm altering a lot more than just my consciousness. I'm altering those guards, that on guard kind of feeling. So it's really important that that there's, a controlled atmosphere, I guess you would want to say, and not a big disruption, because I have let my guards down. And I've told this to other people that I am collaborating with, is, when I'm in this state, it needs to be protected and trusted, like it's a trusted area. And, not to have any crisis come up. If there is a crisis, wait until after the show and bring it up. Like, don't say it in the middle of the show, because my guards are down. And and it's also being like on the ready or defensive or protecting. And we get so used to if we're in a household where maybe our parents were arguing all the time, or if we had siblings that were always arguing, or, just constant attacks, whether it's verbally, whether it's, with sound, and we have to keep our guard up. And then we get used to that state of having our guard up, and we don't realize that that's using a lot of our energy and exhausting our a particular I know for me it's my adrenals and different areas for me, but it's important to be able to feel safe and feel protected and have your boundaries, but also let that protection down and really, really relax, stay calm. And this is what I feel in the breathing and going through the guided meditation brings us into this vibration. And I think with imagery, I do a little meditation where you hear bells and tones and you feel the resonance of that to get into that frequency, and that calms you and raises your frequency, or raises your state of consciousness. And then I move on to colors, where you feel the vibration of the colors and the intelligence of the colors, and that raises your frequency and your state of consciousness. And at the same time that you're moving through this guided meditation, you're also letting go of all of the trauma, the drama, the stress, the being on guard. And it's almost like a simultaneous, but it's really important to be in a safe environment and have, a safe protected area around you. You don't want somebody coming in and slamming the door while you're in the middle of, being in a certain color and raising your vibration. So, but it does work. It does work. And it is really just one of many tools like Daphne has. It's one of mine that I use, but the breath and intention, and I love I'm a aromatherapy junkie. I'm a sound junkie. Well, I shouldn't say junkie, but yeah, I love the aromatherapies, and I have many different sound therapy products around me as well that I love and I rely on. And and we can all have our own practice. We can build our own practice and do different things for us and bring it into your home and bring it into your surroundings and into um like your rituals, or your there's another word for a ritual. I don't know, just more like your rituals that you might do, or your ceremonies. This is what you can do, and as often as you'd like. And but it's really important to really let go, and trust yourself, and trust that the universe and the energies that you bring in for protection will be there to support you, and the flower essences and the Reiki and the sound bath. All of these things are here to support our energy so that we can really just let all of those guards down and feel safe. I think is a really big part of it for me.
Yeah,
Hmm.
I agree. Then that is what that parasympathetic nervous system is all about: safety, right? You're safe. The body can relax, the mind can relax, and you can take in that information from spirit. Yeah.
Hmm. Um, yeah, I would love to, and you guys let me know. Let me know if you guys want to have like an introduction to what each of these modalities might sound like, look like, or be like. Um, you know, I don't know, but it's really important to experience. We've done it here before. I don't remember where did we do it live with the plant, or we did a an event,
I think it was an event.
a
I think
flower
it was one
essence.
of our other events. Yeah. Mhm.
Okay, yeah, because it really does
Yeah.
need to be in a safe, protected area, in a contained
Mm,
area, so that there's, yeah, so that it's, yeah.
yeah. Well, I see some folks in the comments talking about flower essences for dogs, in particular, pets, yes, rescue remedy, wonderful for people and pets. And I think just visiting, you said rescue remedy and rose. So I'm thinking you meant to say rock rose, which is an incredible flower essence. So much medicine there. Yeah. And yeah, the plants would help large groups of people are overwhelming. Scott, when I saw you write that, I saw you write plants would help large groups of people are overwhelming. I read plants would help large groups of people. Yes. And in fact, that's one of the things that I love to do is I love to share flower essences with a group etherically, energetically, and that's one of the lovely ways to help people in like the people who survived the fire or escaped the fires in LA, right? People who were in the floods in Asheville, North Carolina. You can, as a practitioner, you can help large groups of people over the internet with these modalities, Reiki, sound baths, flower essences, absolutely. Yeah, thank you for bringing that to mind.
Mhm. Mhm.
Yeah, yeah. Thank you so
Mhm.
much.
Yeah, and here's just visiting said, yeah, rock
Rock
rose, you're
rose,
right.
yay. I love that.
Mhm.
I love that essence. Absolutely love it. And, Star of Bethlehem is one of the first ones that I reach for when something upsetting is happening in the news or in the world. And I just was reminded, there is a we were talking about how Lois is an active relaxer, right? She's proactively
Oh,
doing things, and that's a form of relaxation. Test this for yourself and see how your body feels. Instead of lying passively and doom scrolling, you want to know what's going on in the world, right? So you're going to scroll. But why not stand up, walk back and forth, and when something upsets you, just like yell, just say like, "No, that's wrong," or whatever it is that helps you move that energy and that emotion up and out of your body so it doesn't get stuck in there. So try doom scrolling actively and, when you've moved enough energy, put down the phone, go do something more fun.
yeah.
So,
And
yes,
I think it's important to visit relaxation or relaxing and sort of this the same method as if you were just beginning to meditate. Give yourself 2 minutes and say, "This is when I'm going to relax." Put on noise canceling headphones or eye cover, and just for 2 minutes sit in silence with yourself and really just take deep, relaxing breaths and let it out. Maybe do box breathing. And as you do, like relax your brow, relax your jaw, relax your shoulders, relax your abdomen, relax your back, you know, and it really is a far way from where we are all the time. It really is a far distance. You think, "Oh, I relax." You don't. You're on guard. We're on guard more than we know to really fully relax. And I think that this may also have to do with the quality of sleep. And
yes,
I know for me, because of HSP and just my highly sensitive nature, that it takes me about an hour to prepare to go to bed. And if I know I want to go to bed at 10, I have to remove myself, shut everything off, and get the coffee done and start heading back at 9 because I like to take my time, clean up as I go, release all my thoughts, jot down my things, do some rituals that really calm me down, whether it's taking a bath and I do it slowly and I do it, just that's my time. And that's really helps me so that when I do go to bed, I'm not just turning off the TV, running back and. And saying, sleep. No, it's going to take a while.
what a
But
beautiful ceremony, ritual practice, Jean. Thank you for sharing that with us. Yeah,
yeah, sleep is important to me. And I was having trouble getting into that really deep REM, and I was, sleep deprived, even though I thought I was sleeping. But So it's really important for me to have that relaxation time before I actually go to sleep. And man,
Mhm.
it feels good when you guys get a good night's sleep. When you wake up and you're like, "Oh, I slept the whole night. How good is that?"
Yes.
It is really important because it helps us to have the stamina to go through the other 18 hours of the day or the other 16 hours of the day, whatever it
Mhm.
might be. But it's
Yeah.
for me, it's a huge portion of my relaxation. But there are days I can tell there's weeks where you just don't, like if you have a toddler or if you
Mhm.
have an aging parent living with you, it's you're you know it's a lot. It's just
Yeah.
a lot for a lot of us. So it's really
Yeah.
important to be kind to one another, have patience for yourself so that you can have patience for others. You can have love for yourself so you can love others. You can forgive yourself so you can forgive others. But it always starts with us. If you treat yourself well, you can treat others well. It really does begin with us. And I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I feel like we're getting into, like, a relaxed state here. So do you
Yes.
wanna move back into the little just we'll we'll do a little 10-minute Reiki,
Yeah.
transmission? And did you wanna leave the slide up or
Yeah.
you
Let's
okay.
let's give people something to look at besides the palms of my hands.
And
I have a antique chair, so if you hear squeaking, that's just my chair making that noise.
and what should everybody be doing or feeling, or can
Mhm.
they watch? Can they just close their
Yes.
eyes?
Yeah, definitely get into a position that's comfortable. If it's safe to close your eyes, you're invited to do that. You might be at work, you might be listening on headphones in a coffee shop or something. Hopefully, you're not driving while you're doing this because this is very, very relaxing. But wherever
And
you are is
but we won't be hearing any talking, right? It'll be a
no,
silent. Okay, and it'll be
yeah.
maybe what, 5 to 7 minutes or
Yes. Yeah, and I just wanna preface this by saying that Reiki is a universal healing energy that transcends space and time. You can come back to this video and watch it anytime you want. You don't need sound. You can just turn it on in the background or in a little screen in the corner of your larger screen and just play this Reiki over and over, and you will always receive the benefit of it. So for the next 6 minutes, if you could just intend to receive, just allow this Reiki healing energy to come into your energy field and trust that your body, your mind, your spirit knows where you need this energy today and allow your body to apply it to whatever is most necessary today. So just breathing at a very relaxed pace and accepting the transmission of this universal healing energy. Thank you, everyone. Thank you. Remember, you can return to this video and replay that section as many times as you would like. And just trust and allow that Reiki universal healing energy is being transmitted to you at that time. Thank you,
That was
Jean.
really
Thanks for
beautiful. Thank you, Daphne. That was really very beautiful. And it's proven, I mean, this relaxation technique and healing, it really does help you to I remembered two things that I left out. And this is the quality of working at your highest potential when we're relaxed. We can hear ourselves and understand and have a better memory or recall and thought process when we're relaxed and measured and calm. And so, what I did forget to say is our pets are at a unconditional love and angelic frequency that is very calming and very soothing and very relaxing for us. Especially a cat's purr is known to be a healing frequency. It's just really beautiful, all of our pets and all different types of pets, whatever it is that we feel is loving for us. And the other thing is Mother Nature. I know that we talked about going for a walk, but just being in nature, being around trees, being around just in grass, in dirt, and anywhere where we can be in just nature around us, even if it's a park or a beach or a hike or whatever it might be. In nature, nature has a certain healing frequency and vibration. It has a very calming and nurturing frequency, and this is why we use some of the techniques from nature with the plant essences, and the shamanic energy healing is all around with nature. But just being in nature and feeling the harmonic frequency of Gaia, of Earth, is really very relaxing. And so that was, I, I just thought, oh, okay, now I know. But it also allows us to have better thought process, better
Yeah.
brain function, more fluid.
Yeah. I'm so glad you brought through Mother Earth because, I mean, we live on a paradise of a planet. And everywhere you look, there's incredible abundance and joy and pleasure. And we're meant to partake in that joy and pleasure. So, absolutely, nature is just a fountain of all that's good for us. So, thank you for bringing that in there. Some nice comments here with Lois. And oh, thank you, Commander Ashtar. What a great name. Oh, yes. Yeah.
Oh.
Lo, Lo, Lois feels very mellow and her forehead feels heavy. Yeah. I heard someone crying when I was transmitting. I don't know if somebody has been crying. It's okay. Weeping is a wonderful release. Diane G, so glad you're here. Tension in her shoulders. Didn't even realize it. Yes, that is what happens to us. We're so used to being in a state of tension and hypervigilance that we really do have trouble relaxing. That's why it's a practice and being patient and loving with ourselves. Lots of friendly trees. Yes. Yes. Dogs love Reiki. Absolutely love it.
She made him wait through the healing. And she says, I think he liked it. Of course. Aw.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you, just visiting. So glad you're all here to experience it. And even if you're watching this on replay, enjoy it. It's for you. You deserve it.
Yeah. So, and it's a practice, just like this is the very first thing Daphne said. It's a practice. It's something that we need to revisit. And, it's something that we do for ourselves. It's a ritual. It's something that we do on a daily basis in order to prepare ourselves for each day to work and to live and to enjoy, optimal potential.
Yes.
All right, everybody. Well, thank you, Daphne. What a beautiful presentation. Thank you very much. And thank you, everybody who came in and participated with us. I really appreciate
Yeah.
everybody being here, and I'll be back tomorrow. So come on back and see us. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you, everybody, for watching. Your support is greatly appreciated. If you enjoy this content, hit like, share, and subscribe. Remember to click the bell to be notified of future videos.